There's a specific kind of coziness that you cannot manufacture. You cannot buy it at a furniture store. You cannot find it in a paint chip collection. You cannot recreate it by following a trend board or copying a magazine spread. It is the coziness that comes from a home that was designed for where it sits, for the light available in that specific place, the weather that rolls through that specific region, the landscape visible from those specific windows. And nowhere in America produces that kind of architecture more naturally, more honestly, or more beautifully than Washington State. The Pacific Northwest home, with its deep roof overhangs, its floor-to-ceiling windows framing trees and mountains in misty morning light, its exposed timber beams, its stone fireplaces built for actual cold evenings, its indoor-outdoor connection that makes the boundary between forest and living room feel like a suggestion rather than a wall, is the coziest residential design tradition in the country. And the Washington-inspired home we are stepping into today is the most stunning expression of that tradition we have found in 2026. Stay until the very end, because the final space in this home is the one that proves, beyond any doubt, why the Pacific Northwest cozy open living aesthetic is the most extraordinary way to live in any home, anywhere in America. Before we step through that front door, if Pacific Northwest architecture, cozy open living, and homes that connect you to the natural world in the most extraordinary way are your kind of content, subscribe right now and ring that notification bell. New videos every single week, and this channel is about to become your favorite home design destination. Okay, let's go inside. Before we tour this specific home room by room, let us understand the design tradition it comes from, because that context makes every detail hit harder. Northwest contemporary architecture continues to lead the Pacific Northwest region in 2026, offering a natural fit for Washington's climate and scenery. These homes emphasize clean lines, expansive windows, and strong indoor-outdoor connections while incorporating wood, stone, and metal for warmth and durability. Low-pitched roofs, deep overhangs, and covered outdoor spaces are especially valued for year-round weather protection. When thinking about Pacific Northwest house designs, the picture that comes to mind is homes that blend seamlessly with nature, offering comfort and style without overwhelming the landscape. One of the first things you notice is their connection to the outdoors. Large windows and open floor plans invite natural light and stunning views inside. This connection to nature is not just aesthetic, it is practical. The region's climate, with its frequent rain and mild temperatures, encourages designs that maximize daylight while providing shelter and warmth. Shelter and warmth. Those two words are the design brief that Washington's architecture has been answering for generations. And the answer has arrived that is more beautiful, more livable, and more timelessly cozy than anything trend-chasing interior design has produced in recent years. These elements come together to create homes that feel both grounded and open, cozy yet expansive. The architecture tends to be clean and modern, but with rustic touches that add warmth and character. Steep, sloping roofs are common. Windows are a focal point. Floor-to-ceiling glass walls or clusters of windows frame views of the surrounding landscape. Skylights and clear-story windows bring an additional light, making interiors feel bright and airy even on cloudy days. Grounded and open. Cozy yet expansive. That paradox. The feeling of being simultaneously held and free, enclosed and connected, is what makes the Washington-inspired home so extraordinary to live in. And it is precisely what this home achieves, starting the moment you step through that front door. Stand at the end of the driveway and look at this home, because the exterior is already telling you everything about what you're going to feel inside. In 2026, modern craftsman homes feature simplified detailing, larger window groupings, and lighter, nature-inspired color palettes while retaining signature elements such as tapered columns, exposed beams, and welcoming front porches. This home sits in a clearing at the edge of a stand of mature Douglas fir. The trees framing the structure on three sides, their canopy creating a natural roof above the property that filters the sky into something dappled and quiet. The exterior is board and batten in a warm dark cedar stain. Not painted, stained, so the wood grain shows through and the surface reads as alive rather than applied. A deep overhanging roof extends 4 feet beyond the building envelope on every elevation, protecting the windows from rain, shading the glass from summer sun, and creating the covered outdoor spaces that are non-negotiable in Pacific Northwest residential design. Craftsman style has been expanded in the Pacific Northwest to include styles better described as Northwest Contemporary or Lodge. Very common to blend the Lodge and Craftsman elements. Over the years, many styles have adopted Craftsman elements and have become a blend of several styles. The windows on this facade are grouped in clusters rather than evenly spaced. 3 tall, narrow windows beside the front door, a wide horizontal band of glass across the upper gable, a corner window arrangement that wraps around the entry corner and eliminates the wall between them. Each window grouping was positioned not by structural convention, but by what it frames outside. The stand of firs to the north, the morning sky to the east, the covered porch and garden to the south. Every window is a picture. Every picture was chosen deliberately, and the effect from inside, which we are about to see, is extraordinary. Through the front door, solid Douglas fir, hand-planed, the surface slightly irregular in a way that tells you this was made rather than manufactured, and the home opens. Many Pacific Northwest buyers gravitate toward homes in the 1,700 to 2,300 square foot range, which comfortably support open living spaces, private bedroom zones, and ample storage without unnecessary excess. This home is 2,100 square feet, not large by the standards of luxury, large enough that the open living space, kitchen, dining, and great room combined has the generous proportions that the Pacific Northwest design tradition demands, and small enough that every inch of it was designed with intention rather than filled with square footage for its own sake. The great room ceiling vaults to 18 feet at the peak, exposed Douglas fir ridge beam running its full length, secondary beams crossing perpendicular at regular intervals, their weathered honey tone aging naturally since the home was built. Below those beams, a room that immediately, completely, and without effort feels like the coziest space you have ever been in. Scandinavian-style furniture, lights, and floor plans allow for these cozy winter-ready homes to maintain free and easy movement and fun angles that give any space a little more character without clutter, no matter the square footage involved. The Pacific Northwest home style focuses on simple, clean lines and shapes, often lending itself to sustainable design that feels warm and honest. The walls in the great room are warm white plaster, slightly textured, not perfectly smooth, catching the light from the window groupings at different angles throughout the day. The floor is wide plank reclaimed fir, the same species as the ceiling beams, worn smooth in the middle of each board from decades of use before this floor was laid, the original nail holes still visible along the edges. Every plank is a piece of history. Every board is different from the one beside it. The floor is the most beautiful thing in this room, and it costs the least. Reclaimed timber, by the nature of being reclaimed, is less expensive than new. The fireplace anchors the room at its north end. A floor-to-ceiling stack of local basalt stone, dark gray and slightly rough, with a firebox wide enough to take 4-foot logs. Above the firebox opening, the stone continues uninterrupted to the ceiling beam above. No mantle, no shelf, just stone, raw, geological, honest, running from the reclaimed fir floor to the Douglas fir beam 17 feet above it. When this fireplace is lit on a November evening, the room changes completely. The stone glows dark amber. The beam shadows shift with the firelight. The windows that showed gray sky and dark trees all day become mirrors, reflecting the room back at itself in the darkness outside. And the great room, this open, vaulted, generously proportioned room, becomes the coziest 50 square feet on earth. Walk from the great room toward the kitchen. There is no wall to pass through, no threshold to cross, no signal that you have left one room and entered another. The space simply transitions, the ceiling dropping from 18 feet to 11, the reclaimed fir floor continuing unbroken, the material palette flowing without interruption. You are in the kitchen before you have consciously decided to move there. The exterior's natural materials transition seamlessly to the interior, creating an invisible thread that links each space, each room, each moment spent there to the next. That invisible thread is the defining quality of Pacific Northwest architecture at its finest, and this kitchen is the most powerful expression of it in this home. The cabinetry is solid white oak, not painted, not stained, but oiled to a warm honey that matches the floor below and the beams above. The grain runs vertically on the cabinet doors rather than horizontally, which makes each door look like a narrow panel of wood rather than a flat surface with a grain applied to it. The handles are hammered bronze, simple bar pulls, slightly imperfect in their form, warm and dark against the pale oak. The countertops are a warm gray soapstone, honed, matte, cool to the touch. The soapstone picks up the gray of the basalt fireplace stone across the room. The geological conversation between these two materials is one of the most subtle and most beautiful design decisions in the home. You cannot say exactly why the kitchen feels connected to the great room, but standing in the kitchen and looking toward the fireplace, the connection is felt clearly. Two gray stones, two different origins, one home. In 2026, buyers are placing increased value on the flexibility and connection between kitchen and living spaces. Open kitchens designed with gathering in mind, large islands, warm material choices, and views into the living zone are among the most requested features in Pacific Northwest custom homes. The island in this kitchen is the gathering point, 12 feet long, in the same oiled white oak as the cabinetry, with a thick honed soapstone top and bar seating for 5 along its living room facing side. The 5 stools are in a warm cognac leather on slim, oil-rubbed bronze frames. Sitting at this island, you face the great room, the fireplace, the vaulted ceiling, the window groupings beyond. You are in the kitchen, but you are also in the best seat in the house. Windows are a focal point. Floor-to-ceiling glass walls or clusters of windows frame views of the surrounding landscape. Skylights and clear-story windows bring an additional light, making interiors feel bright and airy even on cloudy days. In the Pacific Northwest, the windows are not a feature of the house. They are the reason for the house. Everything else, the floor plan, the furniture arrangement, the ceiling height, the position of the fireplace, is organized in service of what the windows frame and the light they allow. In this home, the east-facing wall of the great room is almost entirely glass. A grid of aluminum-framed windows from the reclaimed fir floor to the Douglas fir beam at 18 feet, broken only by the narrow structural columns required to hold the beam above. Morning light pours through this wall from the moment the sun clears the tree line. At 7 in the morning, the whole great room is gold. The fir floor glowing amber, the white plaster walls turning warm cream, the soapstone countertops across in the kitchen picking up a slight gold undertone that they never show at any other hour of the day. By noon, the light has shifted, coming from above now, through a pair of skylights cut into the roof above the great room. These skylights bring the midday sky, often cloudy, often moving, never static, into the room as a living ceiling panel. On overcast days, the light through the skylights is diffuse and even the kind of soft, directionless light that photographers call perfect, and that makes this room feel like the inside of a cloud. On clear days, a shaft of direct sunlight travels slowly across the reclaimed fir floor between 11 in the morning and 2 in the afternoon. The room tracks the sun. The sun marks the time. The relationship between this house and this sky is the most intimate and most beautiful design feature in it. Large sliding doors and window walls strengthen the connection between interior spaces and the outdoors, even during cooler seasons. Outdoor living is a year-round priority in the Pacific Northwest. The west wall of the great room has a different relationship with light entirely. 3-panel sliding glass doors, each panel 8 feet wide and 9 feet tall, open the entire west face of the room to the covered outdoor living space beyond. When these doors are open on a mild Washington evening, the great room extends outward seamlessly. When they are closed against November rain, the covered outdoor space, its fireplace lit, its teak furniture dry under the deep, overhanging roof, remains visible through the glass, connected visually while separated physically. The indoors and the outdoors are in constant conversation. Neither one ignores the other. They are designed to face each other, always. Every detail in this home that makes it feel extraordinary, beyond the architecture, beyond the windows, beyond the exposed beams and the basalt fireplace, comes from one design principle that Pacific Northwest residential design understands better than any other regional tradition: Every material used in this home comes from somewhere, not a factory, somewhere specific in the natural world. The reclaimed fir floor came from a demolished gymnasium in Tacoma. The basalt fireplace stone was quarried from a site 40 miles east of the property. The white oak cabinetry came from a managed forest in Oregon. The soapstone countertops were quarried in Vermont, the geological brother of the Pacific Northwest stone that lines the riverbed visible from the east window. The wool rug under the great room seating was woven in the United States from American-raised merino. The linen on the sofa cushions is natural, undyed, from a small European mill. These elements come together to create homes that feel both grounded and open, cozy yet expansive. The design reflects a deep respect for the environment and a desire for lasting beauty. Respect for the environment, desire for lasting beauty. These two values produce, in practical terms, a home where every surface has a story and every material has an origin. And a home where every surface has a story feels different to be, and then a home where everything was specified from a catalog. The difference is felt before it is articulated. Guests do not think the materials in this room have traceable origins. They think, something about this place feels honest. Something about this place feels real. That feeling of realness, of honesty, of materials chosen for what they are rather than for how they look in a photograph, is the deepest source of the coziness this home radiates. You cannot fake it. You cannot manufacture it. You can only build it by choosing real things from real places and letting them be what they are. Covered decks, screened porches, and outdoor rooms with fireplaces or heaters extend usable living space while providing shelter from the elements. Large sliding doors and window walls strengthen the connection between interior spaces and the outdoors, even during cooler seasons. The outdoor living space on the west side of this home is, in the Pacific Northwest tradition, a fifth room. Not the fourth room. There are already four inside. A fifth. A room that operates year-round, that is as deliberately designed as any interior space, and that on its best days, a still October morning with mist in the fir trees and the outdoor fireplace lit and a cup of coffee at hand, is the most extraordinary place in the entire home. The covered portion extends 18 feet out from the house under the deep, overhanging roof, deep enough to stay completely dry in even the heaviest Pacific Northwest rain. The floor is the same wide plank reclaimed fir as the interior, the same material flowing out through the open glass doors without any transition. Inside and outside share floor. The boundary between them is literally the threshold of the sliding glass door, and when those doors are open, that boundary ceases to exist. An outdoor fireplace in the same basalt stone as the interior fireplace sits at the far end of the covered space, the second stone in the conversation between interior and exterior that began at the great room hearth. The two fireplaces face each other across 18 feet of covered outdoor room and 40 feet of open glass. On evenings when both are lit simultaneously, the home glows from both ends of its east-west axis. Two amber points of warmth visible from the driveway, from the garden, from the tree lane beyond, making the home look from outside like something between a dwelling and a lantern. Buyers are placing increased value on privacy and separation within the home. Primary suites are often positioned away from secondary bedrooms and living areas to provide true retreat-like privacy. The primary suite in this Washington-inspired home is in its own wing, separated from the great room by a short corridor that feels, in the transition from open living space to private sleeping zone, like the most satisfying architectural compression available. You go from soaring to intimate in 20 feet, from vaulted and expansive to exactly the right height for sleeping. 9 feet, warm and closed. The bedroom walls are in a deep, warm mushroom, the color of the fir bark visible outside the bedroom's two windows. The ceiling follows the same, tone one shade lighter. The bedding is layered in undyed natural linen, the same linen color as the winter sky through the bedroom's east-facing window on an overcast morning. The bedroom floor is the same reclaimed fir as the rest of the home, but here, underneath the bed and extending in every direction, a hand-knotted wool rug in a deep, warm charcoal. The rug creates the bedroom's own zone within the larger floor, a softer, quieter, more private world beneath the bed that makes the whole room feel like a shelter within a shelter. From the primary bedroom, A sliding glass door opens onto a private covered deck, smaller than the main outdoor living space. Oriented differently, facing north toward the densest part of the tree stand rather than toward the open garden. In the morning, sitting on this private deck with coffee, the trees are close enough to touch from the railing. Birdsong, occasional rain, the smell of fir and earth. The most private and most restorative spot in the entire property, and accessible from the most private and most restorative room. Here is the final space, the one I promised at the very beginning would prove, beyond any doubt, why the Pacific Northwest cozy open living aesthetic is the most extraordinary way to live in any home anywhere in America. It is the reading nook, a built-in window seat in the corner of the great room where the east window grouping meets the north wall. A seat wide enough to lie down on, cushioned in a deep forest green performance linen, backed by a wall of built-in bookshelves that runs floor to ceiling on the north wall and wraps around the corner to meet the window frame. Above the seat, a skylight, a square of sky directly overhead, framing whatever the day is doing with complete and censored honesty. Rain on the glass on gray November days. Stars on clear winter nights when the temperature drops and the sky clears and the property is so far from city light that the Milky Way is visible. Morning clouds moving east on a September day when summer is ending. Scandinavian-style furniture and floor plans allow for these cozy winter-ready homes to maintain free and easy movement and fun angles that give any space a little more character without clutter. The Pacific Northwest home design is a hot choice this year for home plans with a cool aesthetic. This nook is 3 feet wide and 6 feet long. It is the smallest space in the home, and it is, by any measure, by any standard of what a home is for, what it should provide, what a human being deserves from the place where they live their private life. The most perfect space in the building. It has a book. It has a blanket. It has a window seat wide enough to lie down in. It has bookshelves within arm's reach. It has a skylight showing whatever the sky is doing. It has the fireplace 20 feet away. On a dark Washington afternoon in February, with rain on the skylight glass, and the fireplace lit, and a book open, and the trees visible through the east windows, and the whole great room quiet and warm around you. There is no better place to be in the world. Not a 5-star hotel, not a resort, not a beach house, or a mountain cabin, or a luxury apartment in any city. This nook, this specific corner, this Washington-inspired home. So there it is, the Washington-inspired home with the coziest open living space of 2026. A board and batten cedar exterior that settles into its forest rather than imposing on it. An 18-foot vaulted great room in reclaimed Douglas fir with a floor-to-ceiling basalt fireplace. A kitchen in oiled white oak and honed soapstone with a 12-foot island that is the best seat in the house. A wall of east-facing glass that tracks the sun across the reclaimed fir floor from 7 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon. An outdoor living room in the same materials as the interior, 18 feet deep, covered, with its own basalt fireplace lit to face the one inside. A primary suite that compresses from expansive to intimate in 20 feet of corridor. And a reading nook, 3 feet by 6 feet, skylight above, bookshelves within reach, fireplace 20 feet away. That is, on a dark February afternoon in Washington State, the most perfect place on earth to be. These elements come together to create homes that feel both grounded and open, cozy yet expansive, reflecting a deep respect for the environment and a desire for lasting beauty. Grounded and open, cozy yet expansive, respectful of the land it sits on, built to last, built to improve with age, built for the specific human beings who live in it rather than for a listing photograph or a trend board. That is the Washington-inspired home. That is the Pacific Northwest cozy open living aesthetic in its most complete and most honest form. And now you know exactly what makes it so extraordinary, and exactly why everyone wants it right now. If this video made you want to immediately book a flight to Washington State, smash that like button. It genuinely helps more people find this channel. Subscribe for extraordinary home tours, regional architecture deep dives, and design that connects people to the places they live every single week. And drop a comment below. Which space for today's home would you move into first? The great room with the basalt fireplace? The kitchen island with the leather stools? The primary suite with the private treetop deck? Or the reading nook under the skylight? I read, every single one. See you inside the next extraordinary home.